I never imagined that a single moment could change the course of my life. My name is Hannah, and this is the story of how one ill-timed joke at our engagement dinner cost me the man I loved. It was supposed to be one of the happiest nights of my life. My fiancé, Daniel, and I had been together for 5 years. We had survived long distance, college stress, and countless disagreements, yet we always found our way back to each other. The engagement had been magical. He proposed under the stars, and I had said yes without hesitation. The dinner was at a fancy restaurant in the city. Both of our families were present, dressed impeccably, the table adorned with flowers and candles. Daniel was radiant, smiling at everyone, his hand occasionally brushing mine in quiet reassurance. I wanted everything to be perfect. I wanted this night to be remembered for joy, laughter, and celebration. As the evening progressed, wine flowed, conversations became lighter, and laughter filled the air. I felt relaxed, buoyed by happiness. That's when I made the mistake. During a lull in conversation, I leaned over to Daniel and whispered a joke I had thought was harmless. "You know," I said with a grin, "after the wedding, we might have to start saving up for therapy sessions with all the in-laws combined." I expected a laugh, maybe a roll of the eyes. Instead, I watched as the atmosphere shifted. Daniel's smile faltered for a split second, almost imperceptibly, but enough for me to notice. Before I could apologize or explain, he laughed politely, but there was tension in his shoulders, a tightness I couldn't ignore. The rest of the dinner went on, but something had changed. The playful energy was gone. Daniel became quiet, answering questions briefly, nodding without enthusiasm. I tried to pull him into conversation, tried to reassure him, but his distance grew. Later, as the evening wound down, I suggested a toast. To love, laughter, and surviving family dinners together. I said, raising my glass. The families cheered, glasses clinked, but Daniel's smile seemed forced, almost strained. It wasn't until we were alone, walking to the car, that he spoke. "Hannah," he said, his voice low, "can we talk?" I nodded, heart racing. "Of course. What's wrong?" He hesitated, glancing around to make sure no one was watching. "It's about tonight, and the joke you made." My stomach sank. "Daniel, it was just a joke. I didn't mean—" "I know it was meant to be funny," he interrupted, "but it wasn't. Not for me. It wasn't funny at all." I froze. I had no idea what he meant. "I don't understand." "It was harmless. Everyone laughed." "Did they?" he asked, his eyes darkening. "Or did they just hum along to keep you happy?" "Hannah, I've told you before that I hate feeling like our relationship is a source of entertainment for others. Tonight, you made a joke that minimized everything I've been through with my family. You turned it into a punchline. In front of everyone. I couldn't believe what I was hearing." "Daniel, I didn't mean that. I was trying to lighten the mood. I love you, and I would never—" "I know you didn't mean to hurt me," he said, his voice softening slightly, "but the damage is done. I can't unhear it. I can't undo that feeling." We drove home in silence. My mind raced, trying to find a way to fix it, to explain that it was a joke, that I respected him and his family. But every word seemed inadequate. By the time we arrived, I could sense that the night had changed something fundamental between us. The next few days were awkward. Daniel was distant, polite but cold. Calls and texts from me went unanswered or received short replies. I tried to talk to him, to apologize, to explain, but he kept repeating, "I need time." Weeks passed, and the tension didn't lift. I began to realize that the joke had touched a nerve deeper than I understood. Daniel had always struggled with feeling like he wasn't taken seriously, that his achievements and boundaries were overlooked in social settings. My joke, intended as playful, had reinforced a fear he had always carried. One evening, 2 weeks after the dinner, he called me. His voice was calm, almost resigned. "Hannah, I think we need to reconsider everything. I need space to think." My heart broke. "Daniel, please. I'll do anything to make it right. I didn't mean to hurt you. I love you more than anything." "I know," he said softly, "but love isn't always enough. Sometimes, one moment can reveal things we can't ignore. I need to step back and figure out if this relationship can survive the weight of our missteps." I tried to argue, to plead, to reason with him, but I realized he had made up his mind. That night, he left, and I didn't see him for months. During that time, I replayed the engagement dinner over and over in my head. The joke, the laughter, his reaction, the silence, it haunted me. I reached out, but he remained distant. Each attempt at communication was met with polite refusal. My love for him remained, but I could see now that sometimes love alone cannot undo the consequences of carelessness, even unintentional. Months later, I learned that Daniel had moved to a new city. He was starting fresh, away from reminders of the past. I respected his decision, though it left an emptiness that lingered. Reflecting on that night, I realized the truth. Sometimes the smallest moments can carry immense weight. A joke, a careless word, a thoughtless action, it can reshape relationships in ways we don't anticipate. My intention had been harmless, even loving, but it had consequences I couldn't undo. I never stopped loving Daniel, but I learned that love requires constant awareness, sensitivity, and consideration for the other person's feelings. A relationship is built on trust, respect, and understanding, and even minor lapses can have lasting effects. The engagement dinner taught me a lesson I will never forget. Humor can be a double-edged sword. What feels light and playful to one person can feel dismissive and hurtful to another. In love, we must weigh our words carefully, for a single careless moment can cost us everything we hold dear. I often wonder what might have happened if I had thought before I spoke, if I had measured my words, if I had understood the depth of Daniel's fears. Would we still be together? Would our love have survived the test of time? I don't know the answers. All I know is that one joke, a seemingly insignificant, well-intentioned comment, changed my life forever. It cost me the man I loved, and it left me with a lesson in humility, responsibility, and the fragile nature of trust. Now, years later, I tell this story not to seek sympathy or blame, but as a cautionary tale. Words have power, even when they seem harmless. The smallest action can ripple through a relationship, leaving consequences we may never fully repair. Love is beautiful, but it is also delicate. Cherish it, protect it, and never underestimate the weight of a single moment.